voting for Trump. I'm voting for Trump because I'm a constitutional conservative.
I could flip your vote in 5 minutes.
Okay, well, hey, I've listened to you for a long time. First time on here, I'll treat you with respect as long as you treat me with respect. I'm 51 years old.
Yeah.
I'm not here to argue and call names and call Kamala names, call Donald Trump names, call you names. I'm not here to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
So I just want to clarify.
Okay.
If you are genuinely
my
a good,
main concern.
do you mind if I just talk real quick?
Yeah, sure.
If you are genuinely a good faith constitutional conservative, by the end of this conversation, you won't be voting for Donald Trump. Okay. And the reason I say that is because Donald Trump wants to violate your First Amendment constitutionally protected rights. He wants to put people in jail for burning the American flag. In 1986, that was ruled as protected under the First Amendment right to freedom of expression by our Supreme Court. Donald Trump has said in the past to take the guns first and proceed with due process second. Donald Trump in 2020 tried to throw the Constitution out of the window, literally saying that he wanted to put it on pause or terminate it to investigate the findings of the election. And if you care about our checks and balances, if you care about our democracy as detailed in the Constitution, let's talk about how Donald Trump tried to rig the outcome of the 2020 election to steal it from Joe Biden. Any good faith constitutional conservative would not be voting for Trump in this election. What did Mike Pence say? Mike Pence said that he no longer supports or endorses Donald Trump because Donald Trump asked Mike Pence to place himself above the U.S. Constitution.
I'm not going to argue with anything that you say. What I will say is Donald Trump, just like every other politician, and you can sit here and defend every politician that is a Democrat all you want, but every politician lies. I know that, you know that. They'll flip flop just to get votes. Donald Trump has done it. Obama did it. Kamala's doing it. Biden did it. Every politician's going to flip flop on a stance when it comes time to run an election. I know you're young, and I'm not going to demean you for being young. You're very intelligent. I've heard you talk, and also I think we can both agree on that, right?
It's also Kamala. It's Kamala.
Okay, apologize, Kamala.
So can you please tell me why you as a constitutional conservative would vote for the biggest threat against our Constitution?
My biggest things to me, we've got 3 Supreme Court justices that are at 70 or over 70 years old. If something happened to them, not saying I want something to happen to them, but if something happened to them, either they retired or, they became sick, I would rather a conservative judge be appointed. Also, for my federal judges, I would rather conservative judges be appointed.
What a shell! What a shell of a constitutionalist. I gave him an opportunity. The reason I kicked him is because I gave him a fair and square opportunity to be a good faith constitutionalist, and he denied that opportunity. Any good faith constitutionalist would recognize how he's a threat to our Constitution and want to ignore every single thing I said about it like he just did. It's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. The reason why I terminated the conversation hands down right there was because I already knew it wasn't going to be productive. If you're going to call yourself a constitutionalist and then ignore the greatest threat to our Constitution since the Civil War, there's no room for productive conversation. You're driving. We're going to move on to our next guest, Shinware. I'm literally trying to get you up on the live right now. Quit yapping in the chat. Let's go to see what our next guest, Justin Crawford, has to say. It's so sad. It's so sad to see, how far these people are willing to go to contort reality. Justin, hey, what's up? Are you voting for Trump, man? All right, Justin's not on the live. We're going to move on to our next guest here, y'all. Let's go to see what our next guest has to say. Let's go to get our next guest up in the box. And you understand, allowing Trump another term to install more Supreme Court justices would further put our checks and balance on the line. What's up? Are you voting for Trump?
Yes.
Okay. Why so?
I just think he's clearly the better candidate. I mean, if you saw the debate, you would see that.
Oh no, Kamala Harris dog walked him in the debate. What's his healthcare plan? Would he veto a national abortion ban?
Can you tell what my accent is by chance?
Yeah, I'm asking you what time it is.
I just wish to mention, I don't even live in America, man. I just think Trump's a better candidate.
All right. Well, good thing that your voice doesn't matter at all. Like, literally speaking, your voice has no weight. Like, literally speaking. Bro, ever since 1738, where's my constitutional conservatives to correct me if I got the date wrong? 1738. Since 1738, they've been trying to dibble-dabble in American politics. They'll never stop. They'll keep on coming. 1776. Thank you, John. 1776. Thank you. What's up, Kyle? You voted for Trump?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Why is that?
I don't know. I just feel that Kamala's flip-flopped on so many things, and it's just
Okay.
crazy.
Okay,
But
so
I do know that Trump has flip-flops on some things too. I just
so I
do.
just want to clarify. So Kamala Harris supporting Kamala Harris being against fracking in 2019 gives you sufficient reason to vote for her, but Donald Trump tried to stage a coup to overthrow our government in 2020 doesn't give you
Like I
sufficient reason
said,
not to
I
vote
know
for him.
Trump has flip-flopped on subjects too, but definitely not as many times as Kamala has. You know, like
Yeah,
even in
so
the debate, she's like, she's a gun owner and she doesn't want to ban any guns when there's many clips of her saying that she wants to ban, assault weapons.
yeah, that's something that that's something that she campaigned upon in 2019. And I don't think that her shifting her view on that gives you any reason not to vote for her. If anything, it gives you more reason to vote for her because it demonstrates that she's a good leader. And
Okay.
let me tell you why. I think that working in the executive branch of our government has moderated her views because when it comes to serving as an official of our government and enacting legislation, you either excel or you drown. Okay, the way that you drown attempting to influence legislation in our government is by not meeting in the middle of the aisle, not trying to
Okay.
work with the people on the other side, and not trying to moderate your views. That's what Trump did. That's why he had to misappropriate DoD funds to build his wall because he couldn't get congressional legislation passed. How you succeed is by meeting in the middle of the aisle, by talking to people that disagree with you, by moderating your views. Okay, and that's what Kamala Harris did, and that's what led the Biden and Harris administration to passing some of the most monumental legislation in modern US history. I would say her shifting her views to what is supported by the majority, to what gains traction and makes progress in Congress, gives us more reason to vote for Harris over Trump.
But can I just say that's what Trump was doing all along too? I mean,
No, and in fact, I could give you examples of how that's something he didn't do. He
Okay,
couldn't
okay.
come
But,
together to get Congress together to pass a congressional legislation on the wall, so we half-assed it through executive order. 4 years with a better split in Congress than Biden, never got an infrastructure bill passed. He got it passed in 1 year. Trump couldn't get Congress together, point blank, period.
okay. Well, I mean, I'm not saying the government has the greatest people in it either, but another thing is, do you think that the debate was fair? I don't care who you think won or anything like that, but
Yeah, the
do you
debate
think
was
it
the-
was a fair debate and that the
Yep.
moderators were fair to both candidates?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that they were being incredibly critical of them both. I think that they were being incredibly critical of Trump and Harris.
Well, they didn't even fact check Harris once, though.
So it's because Harris didn't lie.
She literally said that Trump said that there were fine people on both sides, with left-wing medias have confirmed isn't true. You go one more sentence into the clip, but they didn't fact check her on that.
Okay. Right. So, I mean, this would probably just be ABC disagreeing.
Okay. And then another thing too is, what about this eating animals situation?
Ah, yes. Let's talk about it. Kyle, Donald J. Trump here. Kyle, you should vote for me because
I'm just saying,
if you
there's
don't
been
vote for
many-
me, you're
there's
doggy
been many
dogs.
911
One moment.
calls and
One
everything
moment.
of
One
people
moment.
reporting
Let the
Haitians
chosen one speak.
coming out of the pond with ducks
Let
and
the-
geese, dead
I know.
geese.
Kyle, let the chosen one speak, sir. Let the chosen one speak. If you vote for me,
Well, I'm just saying we go off of
why won't
topics in
you?
the
You
debate
have
here.
to. You
That
have
way
to
we're
let
not
the
going
chosen
off
one
of
speak. Let
knowledge
the
that
chosen.
isn't
Who are
popular
you?
right now.
Who is this guy interrupting the chosen one? Let the chosen one speak, or I will forcefully put a binky in it. Phenomenal. You must vote for me because if you don't vote for me, your doggy dogs and your kitty cats will be eaten very bigly. All of the aliens, E.T. and his friends, they've started eating the doggy dogs. the goosey goose and the kitty cats for lunch, but quite possibly, if I do not win in November, they'll start eating them for dinner too. They'll be eating the doggy dogs, the kitty cats, the goosey gooses for lunch and dinner. And before you know it, they will be eating them for breakfast as well. In fact, Kamala Harris will even pay the aliens to eat your doggy dogs, kitty cats, and goosey goose for breakfast. If you don't want your doggy dogs, your kitty cats, and your goosey goose to be eaten by E.T. and his friends, all the aliens, vote for me. And we will close the border and deport all the aliens, send them back to Mars, and E.T. back to Mars.
Right. Oh, is my mic not been working this whole time? I don't even know. Anyway, so you had your tantrum, but I just wanted to get on topics on the debate to that are popular topics right now. That way, it's not people that some people don't know knowledge on and everything. Another question I have is Kamala says she wants to hire more border patrol and be more, strong on the border now, right? But there was the HR 2 bill of Trump trying to hire more border patrol agents and do better things for the border, and Kamala actually signed the HR 2 bill herself, requesting Trump not to hire border patrol agents and do these policies he was trying to make. So what do you have to say on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know her reasons why she determined not to sign it into law. I mean, we saw senators on the right and the left reject HR 2. It was predominantly because of other provisions, right? But we know that these are things that Kamala Harris supports because she tried to influence bipartisan legislation in the House and the Senate to achieve these ends while she's been VP. But Trump literally then called the Republicans in the House and the Senate and told them to vote against the bill because he didn't want to give Democrats a win.
Okay.
Right? How do you feel about Trump literally torpedoing a border bill that would have solved the crisis years ago?
Are you talking about that bipartisan bill? I mean, he didn't even have any political power.
He definitely had political power. Yeah, he's the one that called the Republicans and influenced them not to sign the
everybody
bill into
hates
law.
Trump and everybody is against Trump, but then all of a sudden, when Trump needs political power, oh my goodness, now all of a sudden he has it.
Yeah, I don't think that Republicans hate Trump, especially those in Congress, because they wanted his endorsement for the primary. And this is not speculatory hearsay. We know this is a fact. Donald Trump even told you to blame it on him at a rally in Nevada. And Lankford, the Republican Trump endorsed, by the way, that wrote the bill, spoke out against Trump, telling everyone that Trump did torpedo it. Same story with Mitch McConnell and Ted Cruz, right? These are facts. These are things that have occurred. And I think your denial of these facts is quite telling of your, absolute...
Well, I'm not denial.
Okay, so then you'd agree that Trump...
everything either.
You'd say that you'd agree that Trump is partially responsible for torpedoing a bipartisan border bill that would have ended the crisis years ago?
I don't know the information on that, so I can't give you an answer.
Okay, well, I mean, you know that sufficiently speaking, he did tell you to blame it on him. I don't understand why you won it. Seemingly, you're just rejecting reality here.
It seems like you're twisting my words, but
So, I mean, no. So the fact is that Donald Trump says that the ongoing crisis at our southern border destroys our economy and destroys our citizens. The fact
does it
is
not?
Donald Trump calls undocumented migrants, no, it doesn't, rapists, P3DO, MS-13 gang members that want to harm our women and eat our pets. Okay? So assuming Trump's worldview is true, that immigration causes such a great travesty for the state of our country, how could you vote for Trump knowing that Donald Trump would rather, right, the Democrats look bad than solve the crisis at the southern border under Biden and Harris's term?
He literally is the one who built the border patrol wall. What do you mean, buddy? Friggin'...
So I'm going to go ahead and spell this out to you once again. So we had a bipartisan border bill in the House and the Senate that would have solved the crisis 2 years ago, right? And then Trump caused the bill to be torpedoed, meaning that the crisis continued. And according to Trump, the continuation of the crisis led to more women getting raped, more taxpayer dollars going to people who don't deserve it. So how can you vote for someone that wanted to cause more harm to America because it would benefit him in the polls?
I could easily say that about Kamala. I could easily say she's flip-flopped many times because she just wants to be on her voters' good side. You know, you accuse Trump of all these things. I could say Kamala didn't choose Josh Shapiro as her vice president because he's Jewish, and that she's a terrible person who hates the Jews. I mean,
Her
I could
husband
say
is
that too.
Jewish, you dumbass. Oh my
Okay.
god. Look at this
But you guys,
motherfucker.
okay,
And then
but
this is speculatory hearsay. Then look at you. What the hell are you saying? What the actual hell are you saying? Like, I can't even believe that you'd say this shit. So then, first of all, you said that she's flip-flop or abused to better represent the people to get their votes. Okay, I accept that. What harm did that cause to the American people? See, when Trump torpedoes a bill in the Senate, according to his own worldview, it causes harm. Okay? And that's what you're not accounting for, right? We have never seen a candidate for president put themselves so far above the country and so far above the people in the country that according to their own worldview, they
no,
would
I'm
prefer
not saying
individuals.
Kamala has actually done this. I'm saying you say all these things about Trump in this light. You don't give actual evidence as to why, other than just saying accusations. You
Oh,
say,
no, I have evidence.
no, I'm
Trump
saying
admitted
I
to it
can
at a
just
rally
say
in Nevada.
terrible things about Kamala and not provide any evidence. And
I provided evidence, right? So specifically speaking, Trump said to blame it on him if the border bill fails at a rally in Nevada, and
okay, but that isn't evidence. That's accusing.
No, that is evidence.
Show
Wait,
me
so
the footage
wait,
right
I
now.
have a question,
Get it on
Kyle.
your phone or something and show me.
Yeah. So you could look up Trump says to blame it on him if the border bill fails. The first source that will pop up is The Hill. You could also reference this from other mainstream media sources. But you're saying that Trump saying to blame it on him if it fails isn't evidence for the claim that he made it fail. So I'd ask you a question. If Trump told you that he's a rapist, would you believe that Trump's a rapist?
I don't know, dude. You're freaking confusing me over here.
So if Trump told you that he was a rapist, you wouldn't believe that Trump is a rapist.
No,
Oh
I'm
my
saying
God.
I don't know because, again, I'm not like the biggest Trump supporter either, but I'm saying I like Trump a lot more than I like Kamala.
If Trump told you that he was a rapist, would you believe that Trump is a rapist?
I don't know.
Chad, I'm not doing that today. I'm not doing that today. I'm okay, I'm not doing that today. I'm so sorry.